Hello, YouTube viewers, and welcome to a cast here brought to you by Shiki StarCraft, Shiki SC. Check out my YouTube channel. And this is brought to you by glhf.it, and they are the guys that brought you the glhf.it Invitational. Check that out on their YouTube channel. It's what you're watching this on right now. I've got a special cast here for you guys today. This is actually going to be a cast with a guest star, Artosis. Why don't you go ahead and say hello?
Hey everybody, I am Artosis. You might have heard of me. This is actually going to be my very first semi-casting type of in-game talking about stuff in StarCraft 2, so I'm pretty excited.
And with that, this is actually my first time as well, so I'm probably just as excited as Artosis is. And what we're going to be doing for you guys here today is we're going to be casting 3 of his games, and I'm just going to be going over with him all the, I guess, just step by step of his gameplay, asking him about what he's doing, what he thinks he could have done better, and why he may have won or succeeded in the matches that we're going to be showing you. So, anyways, Artosis, if you want to do a little bit of an introduction, your name and maybe how old you are, and you are in Korea, is that correct?
That's right. I am a former StarCraft 1 American pro. I moved to Korea a couple years ago to be a commentator and make content for StarCraft and just basically work in the esports scene overall. That is my job. That's what I do over here. Nowadays, with StarCraft 2 coming out, I'm re-entering the whole professional playing and just keeping myself busy. I make a lot of videos. Definitely check out my brand new YouTube channel. Artosis TV on YouTube, and I love StarCraft. I love StarCraft 2, and I'm sure y'all will see me around a lot in the coming years.
And how long were you playing StarCraft 1 then?
Well, I played it for 11 years, basically since it came out. I'm actually one of the older players playing. I'm 27 years old now, but that doesn't stop me. I'm gonna keep going. So yeah.
That's awesome. And one question I also did have for you as well is, how did you get into the beta?
Well, I'm I've been working in esports for a while, and I was one of the more famous and accomplished StarCraft 1 players for the non-Koreans. So I was just I was chosen a long, long time ago, way before the beta came out, to be one of the original beta people. And actually, a friend of mine texted me the moment the beta was going live in Korea, because I do have some friends around. So they texted me, and I jumped out of bed, and I was one of the first people to even log on to the beta.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I really like the fact that Blizzard did choose the well-known StarCraft 1 players to initially test the beta. Obviously, they're trying to develop esports around the world, and I think that was probably one of their best decisions they ever made with the StarCraft 2 beta.
Absolutely.
All right, and we'll just cover as well one more thing. You're part of the MYM clan, is that correct?
That's right. I'm on Meet Your Makers. Check them out at mymym.com. A really great team. Myself, the Muslim Raven, and of course the legendary Garimto. I'm really happy to be a part of that team. And thanks to the sponsors, Chief Tech Puma and Razer.
All right, so with that, we're going to go ahead and get started here. Game 1 is going to be here on Desert Oasis. Artosis, I'll start the game in 3, 2, 1, start. All right, so yeah, we've got you spawning here at the 12 o'clock position, the blue Zerg. And we've got your opponent, it looks like Cezanne Prime, or Cezanne Prime.
Yeah.
The red Terran in the 6 o'clock position. So what are your thoughts on TVZ here on Desert Oasis?
Well, as many people think is quite controversial, myself and also Idra, that I'm sure a lot of you know, both agree that this is a really, really Terran map. And, of course there's a lot of cheeses that can be done, but even taking the cheeses out, if you look at the way the map is shaped and everything, Thor drops are actually unbelievably difficult to stop here and come out of. And taking a third base against a very mobile 2-base Terran with a Marauder-based army is just about impossible. So I really personally feel like this is a big Terran map in Zerg vs. Terran. In fact, it is my least favorite map. I'd rather play Incineration Zone or Kulos Ravine than this map in ZVT.
Interesting to know. We don't have Incineration Zone as one of the maps picked, but we do have Kulos Ravine as our third game, so we'll go ahead and get into that map later. And speaking of cheese, like you were saying, it looks like Prime here, or Cezanne Prime, is going to be putting up an early barracks. He took out one of his first SCVs and came up here. How does that make you feel watching this game afterwards?
Well, it's pretty common to get cheesed on this map. There's just so many places to hide everything. And this is actually, it kind of makes me sad that he's cheesing me here, because the build order I've been using on this map for months was to take my 9th drone and scout that area that he's got his barracks in, and I scout basically every proxy area with my 9th drone. But on this day, I just happened to be practicing not doing that and seeing how that worked out. So when I see it, I get pretty angry because, I mean, my normal play destroys this, but I like to test new things in the ladder. So that's fine. And also, Cezanne actually was one of the highest-ranked Zerg players on the server, but with all the patch changes, he decided to go ahead and choose some Terran. And he was always very cheesy as Zerg, so it's not really surprising that he's cheesing me here as Terran as well.
Good to know. So you kind of saw it coming, but didn't quite have the scouting to prevent it. But
Yeah.
that's very common on this map, as there is, like you said, just so many places to hide things. So you've got some early gas. You got your spawning pool up at around 13 or 14, I believe it was. And now you're getting a couple spine crawlers to defend against these bunkers. What's going through your mind? I see you just killed this SCV, so now he can't really see the high ground. What's your next steps in order to defend against this?
Well, what I do against this now is I creep forward with my spine crawlers, and I kind of try to make sure that the SCV is dead so I can take out the bunkers pretty easily. The main thing is getting rid of the scouting SCV as quickly as possible so he has no vision, because then you can get a lot of extra damage in. But as you see, he's floating the barracks over to prevent this. But the spine crawlers, along with a few Zerglings and a queen, normally you can end up taking these bunkers out. But, of course, you're quite far behind at this point.
Right, so looking at the income tab, you are down 2 harvesters, but do you really feel like you're that far behind once you take out this barracks? Or
Yeah,
this, bunker?
I do feel so, yeah. It's like he got the game to go exactly how he wanted. He delayed a lot of my mining. I really don't have